Outlook.
Right now in Weather Center Live, towns across the Northeast dealing with flooding and intense wind gusts, some more than 50 miles an hour, knocking down trees and leaving thousands of residents in the dark. We'll have an update on what's happening now, plus we'll help you plan for the days ahead. And just in time for the weekend, another soaker that could have big impacts on your Halloween plans. Who'll see what? Plus the timing of it all. We're making sure that you know what to expect. Weather Center Live starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining me on Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Keith Carson. I'm going to get you through the early part of your afternoon and help you plan for the days ahead. But before we dive in, let's do a little throwback Thursday, or hashtag TBT as the kids say. Here's a look at Wednesday's weather from coast to coast.
On the East Coast, sandbags were no match for them. And on the West Coast, neither was the sand or fences. Waves stirred up by the two different phenomena lashed both coasts. On the East Coast, another day of huge high tides swamping roads on Tybee Island, Georgia, tipping over trash cans near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. On the West Coast, crews shoring up beaches against wild waves triggered by high tides and onshore flow. Inland, wind, the biggest problem, hampering firefighters in Dallas battling an apartment fire. Toppling trees in at least 3 states. Fort Drum, New York, clocking a 69-mile-per-hour wind gust. FlightAware.com reporting more than 460 flights into and out of the Northeast canceled. More than 1,500 other flights delayed.
All right, you know what? It's still windy across the Northeast. Big low up there in Canada, kind of spinning things around, and a deep pressure gradient, so strong winds that are shifting to the southwest right now. They were kind of screaming in onshore for a while. Now as the front has gone through, we're going to see them continue to drive strongly out of the southwest. Current wind speeds up pretty gusty depending on where you are. Binghamton coming in at 21 miles an hour. 15 in Boston. Nantucket right there, kind of unprotected by anything, sitting at 20 miles an hour. And Pittsburgh at 25 miles an hour. Most of our strongest winds across the Northeast would have been late last night, early this morning, but still noticeably windy through the day today. That's the best way to put it. And defoliating, you know, a lot of these places that had peak leaf cover no longer. Most of the leaves are going to be off the trees by the time this system is said and done. It continues to be breezy actually through the afternoon today and then into tonight, but not at the level that we saw here last night. So you take this forward through the afternoon, winds gusting to 25-30 miles an hour, maybe up to 40 miles an hour in the New England coastline. As we head to Friday morning, 10 to 15 miles an hour, but notice a little bit of clearing back here to the west. So things will start to settle down as far as the strongest wind gusts go as the system pushes on through. A couple wind advisories still in effect. Actually, they just canceled the high wind warning that was over down East Maine. Wind advisory now right off the Great Lakes because that upper level low is right up in Canada. So wind screaming around the Great Lakes. If it was a little colder, this would be actually a great setup for lake effect snow, but of course the air temperature not quite at that point yet. It won't be long, but strong winds on the east side of the Great Lakes. Let's take you into Boston, of course, near and dear to my heart, being from there. Today, a little bit cool, but I'll tell you what, you're going to like the weather as we head into the second half of the weekend. It looks pretty nice there with temperatures popping right back up. So it won't be long-lived, this somewhat cooler streak. All right, let's take a look at what we have going on as far as precipitation, because along with these winds, we do have some rain to go with it. Now, most of that was heaviest last night. You take a look at our radar right now, and you can see a couple of bands, one moving offshore of Maine and the other here through what we call the Champlain Valley down into Albany as well. That's where some of the rain was. So again, exiting now out of the Bangor area, should be clearing out there. A couple of intense downpours have been reported across central and northern Maine earlier this afternoon, but right now we think most of this is lighter. And then another line coming in here through the Berkshires. This will probably kind of die out as it moves towards Worcester and the 495-128 belt there outside of Boston, but just another sprinkle of possibility. By the way, as I mentioned before, not far away from this being a good lake effect snow, because look where the snow line is. It's just up there across the border into Canada. So we have a front here, and then we have a secondary front back here. The secondary front doesn't have that much moisture, so as it pivots through here tonight and tomorrow, just a sprinkle possible across, say, upstate New York. In the higher terrain, place like Whiteface, for example, could see some snow showers there as the snow level won't be super, super high. Par for the course this time of the year that they could see some snow at some of the higher terrain. And then by tomorrow, mid-morning, midday, nice, beautiful, clearing out in a big time way. As far as total rainfall left, not a lot. We're looking at another inch maybe in spots far northern Maine, Aroostook County, again in through Bangor, and then maybe a little bit of that snow in the higher terrain tonight across the Adirondacks, Saranac Lake, one of the spots that could see it, probably staying rain down towards Plattsburgh and in through Burlington as well. All right, let's take a look at Minneapolis now, because, you know, here's another spot that we're going to see the back end of this cold air coming through. So in the 40s today, but into the 60s as we head into Monday. So we're going to see a brief cold shot here. Basically, that's the best way to put it. It won't last very long, which you can't take that for granted this time of the year. Sometimes these cold shots will start sticking around longer than you'd like to see. All part of that big low and the winds funneling around it. So it's going to bring some cold air down from Canada as it does so, but it won't have too much time. A lot of it is wind driven. So once the winds slacken around that low up in Canada, the cold shot will slacken as well, and things will go back to and then actually above average Sunday, Monday. Next week actually looks pretty warm across the Midwest and the Northeast as well. So through tomorrow, we're back into the 50s here, above average for the most part. So it's really just today that we're going to see some of those cool temperatures, maybe a little bit tonight, and then we'll go back up to where we should be this time of the year, or the average, I should say. It's a better way of putting it. So taking a look at it right now, we do have some temperatures around freezing, even in Rapid City still at this hour with the wind chill. That's the wind chill, those gusty winds out of the northwest. Classic wind direction with a cold air mass is that northwest wind. So we'll continue to see some gusty winds there, making it feel a little chillier than it is. Of course, when you get to January and February, you'll be laughing at the idea that the wind chill had you down to freezing. But right now, it feels cool. And through the day, the winds will continue to be kind of gusty. When that low pulls out, things slacken behind it. The plains start to settle down as far as the winds go, and then we build a ridge in to the east as we head into next week. So temperatures then will rebound. Probably what we saw this morning and late tonight will be the coldest air you'll see in a while. Temperatures will do a lot better by next week. But for today, temperatures in the 30s and 40s wind chill wise. We'll be right back.
Today we're getting record snowfall.
Radars indicate there's been flooding throughout the area.
We're getting hail the size of golf balls. Maglite. Turn your light on, America.
With the wrong wiper blades on your car, you could be on the road to trouble. But with Michelin Stealth, with industry-leading SmartFlex technology and cloud-free Smart Hinge exterior, you can see clear for the road ahead. Michelin Stealth, a better way forward. Get your Michelin wiper blades at Walmart.
Stop! Put down the phone! Were you considering a reverse mortgage to get cash now? Reverse mortgages might appear to be a quick solution, but do you really want to listen to a TV actor about mortgaging your home? Reverse mortgage is really just a fancy term for a loan. There is a better way. The Annuity Action Network has solutions for you. If you have an annuity or receive payments from an insurance company, you can get the cash you need now. Learn how to accelerate your payments. You can choose which payments or parts of payments to accelerate. This means you are in control of your money and how to get it when you want it. Call today. Find a solution that's best for you and get help accelerating your payments into cash now. The Annuity Action Network will show you how. It is simple and fast. Call the Annuity Action Network today at 800-939-8760. We have the answers. No loans, no mortgages, no debt, just cash now. Call 800-939-8760 right now. Don't wait.
How to make an awesome weather science show. Take 3 scientists, add the forces of nature, mix in some crazy experiments,
lit my hand on fire,
and then...
Who said science isn't fun?
3 scientists walk into a bar. Bottoms Up Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel. And join the community now on Facebook.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 30%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 72. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, afternoon showers. High 85. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Very intense right now.
Oh my gosh.
That's blacked out. This is so cool.
We experienced our first Northeast winter.
We were freezing.
So we went to Burlington. There's so many brands to choose from.
That looks good on you.
We found something for everybody. And the prices are great. This year, we're prepared. Yes!
Coughing, sniffling, and wishing you could stay in bed all day. When your cold is this bad, you need new Theraflu Express Max. Theraflu Express Max combines maximum strength medicines available without a prescription to fight your worst cold and flu symptoms, so you can feel better fast and get back to the job at hand. New Theraflu Express Max, the power to feel better.
Attention women. If you have a transvaginal mesh implant and had surgery to repair or remove the mesh, you may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you have a transvaginal mesh implant, call the Goldwater Law Firm. Over $2 billion have been set aside to pay claims. This may be your last chance to get a settlement. Call now before it's too late.
To see if you qualify for an out-of-court settlement, call 1-800-371-5151. That's 1-800-371-5151.
Oh, whipping winds causing major problems for firefighters battling a 5-alarm fire in Dallas. More than 90 firefighters responding to the Greenbrier Place condos. Winds gusting almost 40 miles an hour certainly did not help the situation, acting to push smoke and flames, making it difficult for crews to find exactly where the fire was actually burning. Nearly 24 residents were displaced. No reports of any injuries, but many residents are reporting lost pets, which of course is heartbreaking. All right, let's show you what's going on in Texas, because we do have some good news for them. They were in a pretty bad drought, and of course we had a big deluge that happened, and now things looking a lot better. Drought monitor across the south, 6% in severe drought. Last week, sitting at 40%. So we expected a notable change, obviously, with big rain coming in. And certainly that is what we got here with the updated drought monitor today. Zooming in on Texas itself, last week, 42% of the state was in severe drought. Now down to 3% of the state. A lot more reds on this map as of last week. But again, some places got over a foot of rainfall, so we would expect that would help things, cause some flooding, of course. But given the amount of rain we had, we actually got off pretty easy as far as huge flooding that we could have seen, the likes of South Carolina, for example. So let's look at this, kind of put this in action. October 22nd, this is what we looked at. 21% of the state in extreme drought. So look at all these reds here, that it's the exceptional drought, extreme drought, and then abnormally dry. Really, the only spot that didn't have this problem was the coastline. They were doing okay as far as moisture went. Now here comes the big rain. We had that system sit over there, draw a bunch of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And as we head forward in time now, 28th, now to today, things looking a lot better, and the drought monitor no longer an issue. It's important to note that most areas in the country that you look at, you're going to be able to see some form of a drought somewhere. So seeing this is a vast improvement over what we had before. And again, we had a lot of rainfall to go with it. Here's a look at the rain over the last 7 days. We have a bullseye just to the south of Dallas of 18 to 24 inches. I believe that was in Corsicana, which is where they had some of the biggest flooding problems. But that is where they saw the most rain, and widespread rain did help things out. Speaking of Dallas, let's take you there right now, where we're going to see some rain moving back in. That will be heaviest on Friday night. But for now, looking pretty good. And again, now the dry weather isn't such a negative the way it was only 5 or 6 days ago. Dry conditions were a problem. Now we're doing a lot better. We will see some more rain, though, as we head into the weekend, so we're going to have to watch that for flash flooding, because, of course, they did have a decent amount here 5 or 6 days ago. Let's take a look at the setup. It's actually quite similar to what we had before, but not as juicy. They don't have as much moisture coming in with this one as we did with the last one. So low, there's a warm front, cold front, and then the jet stream gets in it. The difference is the upper level low, not as potent this time. That upper level low last time coming out of the southwest was really strong, so it had a lot of extra kick to it. This is more garden variety in not only its setup, but also the amount of rain that it's likely to produce here as we head into the weekend. So there will be some rain coming in, and let's time that out for you. So through tomorrow, the rain starts to move in here into Dallas. As I mentioned, I think Dallas is probably Friday night is the heaviest rain for them. As we head into Saturday, it should shift to the east of Dallas, get into New Orleans, Jackson. Not going to be a good Halloween for a place like New Orleans. We'll do some specific forecasts for them in just a bit. And then on Sunday, we get into Atlanta, Charlotte, Asheville. By the way, Atlanta has been quite rainy here through the week, and now more rain coming in for the second half of the weekend. What are we talking about as far as rainfall? Well, nothing like what we saw last weekend. We have 3 to 5 inches, a little bit widespread here to the south of Dallas. Again, we'll just have to watch that area southeast of Dallas that had that 18 inches of rain, because any more will give them trouble. Flash flood guidance, the amount of rain necessary to flood an area given the soil moisture, sitting around 2 to 3 inches for the most part. So nothing abnormally low about that, and 3+ inches towards Houston, so we should be okay. All right, as we go to break, it's a scene we see all too often. A reminder for everyone out there: a driver ends up trapped in floodwaters, how it played out, plus why crews are on high alert.
Ancestry has come out with a new version. Now they have Life Story. It literally lays out somebody's life from birth to death. When I was using Life Story, I discovered my great-grandmother. She went through a lot. 2 sons go to fight in World War II. She lived through the Depression, and she made it through all of that. Here I am, just because she survived and she kept going.
Bring your family story to life like never before. Get started for free at Ancestry.com.
With our totally unique and incredibly successful approach, chances are that behind every great relationship, there's eHarmony.com. Stop waiting. Start communicating for free today.
When it comes to food, pets know what they want, and so do we. That's why you'll find simple, natural ingredients like real meat and wholesome veggies in delicious Rachael Ray Nutrish recipes with no fillers or byproducts.
Guys, I said I'd be back.
Give your pets the food they would make for themselves, if they could. Rachael Ray Nutrish. Real recipes, real ingredients, real good. Also available in 0 grain, with 0 grains, glutens, or fillers.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
We found lower copays.
And a free wellness visit. New plan, same doctor. I'm happy.
It's Medicare open enrollment. Have you compared plans yet?
It's easy at Medicare.gov.
Or you can call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Medicare open enrollment. You'll never know unless you go.
I did it. You can too.
What's the word on Weather Underground?
Drum roll.
The weather geeks have weighed in, and boom. They geekin' love it.
Weather Underground, my friend. Hopefully you learned something with that.
I'm a weather geek for life.
Join in on the fun. Weather Underground Geek Nights
At the Watershed, we believe in recovery. We believe that every alcoholic and addict deserves the opportunity to be healed. Our team of addiction professionals will address the underlying causes of your addiction while treating you with dignity and respect. We've helped thousands of patients recover from this seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Addicts can recover. Addicts do recover. No matter how hopeless the situation seems, the time to get help is now. Call the Watershed today.
Roll out the welcome mat and ease into the holidays during City Furniture's Fall Home Sale. A complete queen bedroom, $9.99. A 5-piece dining set, $8.99. A leather sofa, $6.99. Plus, shop online anytime at cityfurniture.com. And enjoy same-day delivery and no interest for 18 months. Your holiday magic starts at City Furniture.
To miss.
Here we go.
The
reviews are pouring in. See why people love Three Scientists Walk Into a Bar. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 30%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms. Low 72. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, afternoon showers. High 85. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Lots of Boston in this show. I like it. Beautiful right now. Windy, though. The Patriots will be playing this evening and some pretty gusty winds. We'll get into their detailed forecast in a minute. The front has gone through, but Boston actually could cloud back up later this afternoon. Just see another sprinkle as a secondary cold front comes through. But the heaviest of the rain has now passed. You can see it out there over the Gulf of Maine. Here's that secondary area of rain that could squeak into Boston late this afternoon, early this evening. Shouldn't be a big deal, but the gusty winds are the thing you're going to notice today across the entire Northeast. As that rain exits, the winds will stay strong. Now actually kind of out of the southwest is where we've seen the strongest wind gusts. And there's that line that I just mentioned moving through western Massachusetts out towards Springfield, and Amherst will be moving into Worcester as well. A lot of times these kind of die out as they move eastward, so we'll watch that and see what happens. But here are the wind speeds. Still quite breezy at 14 miles an hour in Philadelphia, 15 in Boston, Bangor sitting at 13 miles an hour. So these are current wind speeds. The gusts, though, have been in excess of 30 and 40 miles an hour through the overnight hours and continue to be gusty through the day today, although that southwest wind a little bit more limiting as far as heavy wind gusts along the coastline, because when they come in here from the land, they tend to slow down with friction. If the wind comes in off the ocean is when you see your strongest wind gusts all the way from Cape Cod through Maine and down into the Jersey Shore as well. So another day of wind means wind advisories. High wind warning has been canceled up through down East Maine. Wind advisory in through Buffalo and Watertown, though. Pretty strong fetch here off the lake. Again, would have been really conducive to lake effect snow, but not quite yet. It won't be long now. Today, again, that shower coming through. Tomorrow actually looks pretty good. Just a few snow showers in the mountains. All right, well, down in Florida, firefighters rescued a driver who ended up trapped underwater after driving into quickly rising floodwaters. Heavy rain yesterday morning caused water levels to rise at a creek in St. Petersburg. The 27-year-old driver was not familiar with the area, and she drove into rising floodwaters. Firefighters say they were careful to make sure they were not swept away by the floodwaters.
We had to improvise. We had to use our life safety rope and our personal flotation devices for our own safety. And we made sure we had anchor points and people on the outside to make sure that no one drifted off.
Well, one fireman was able to climb into the back of the sinking SUV, broke through the glass, and pulled her to safety. So, as usual, do not drive through standing water. All right, Charlotte right now, or at least some woods near Charlotte right now. You know what? It's actually going to be really nice tomorrow and Saturday, and then they'll see some rain as we head into Sunday. So a little mixture of cloud cover at the moment. Let's take a look at the satellite picture, and looking down towards Florida, looking good. You can see that cloud cover kind of moving through Atlanta right now and stretching the way up into Charlotte as well. A few sprinkles out there. The cloud's a little bit darker than you might anticipate, but not much in the way of rainfall as that front comes through on the southern end. It's kind of weak in the moisture department, just a few showers. Again, I'd characterize them as sprinkles across much of Georgia, moving into the Carolinas, and eventually moving offshore. By late tonight, we're clear of the front from Nashville, Little Rock, Jackson, Atlanta, all looking like they're in good shape, and actually a really nice day on Friday behind the front. on cue. 69 in Atlanta tomorrow, Memphis 70, Charleston sitting at 76, and Raleigh coming in at 65. So once that front comes through, we get a little ridge of high pressure. Really nice weather there through tomorrow. We're going to get one good weekend day out of this as well, but as we head into Saturday, it's not going to be, Sunday I should say, it's not going to be quite as nice. I think we just repeated the same day there, but it's nice, so that's worth something, right? Here we are on Saturday, and talking about Halloween, New Orleans not looking good, Jackson looking rainy as well. Place like Atlanta, we have to watch to see if there's any showers and storms. It probably won't be, though, until later on in the evening that we see showers in Atlanta, so you'd have to be up till around midnight or so to deal with it.
I asked my dentist if an electric toothbrush was going to clean better than a manual. He said sure, but don't get just any one. Get one inspired by dentists with a round brush head.
Go pro with Oral-B. Oral-B's rounded brush head cups your teeth to break up plaque and rotates to sweep it away. And Oral-B delivers a clinically proven superior clean versus Sonicare Diamond Clean.
My mouth feels super clean.
Oral-B. Know you're getting a superior clean.
I'm never going back to a manual brush.
Sleep. Remember when it welcomed you like a friend? Then it became more elusive. But why? When you have insomnia, it may affect the wake neurotransmitters in your brain, disrupting your wake and sleep messages. Balsamra is a prescription medicine for adults who have trouble falling or staying asleep. Balsamra is thought to help turn down wake messages by targeting and inhibiting the action of orexin, a neurotransmitter that plays a central role in sending wake messages. Only Balsamra works this way.
Do not take Balsamra if you have narcolepsy. When taking Balsamra, don't drive or operate heavy machinery until you feel fully awake. Walking, eating, driving, or engaging in other activities while asleep without remembering it the next day have been reported. Balsamra should not be taken together with alcohol. Abnormal behaviors may include aggressiveness, confusion, agitation, or hallucinations. The temporary inability to move while falling asleep or waking up and temporary leg weakness have also been reported. In depressed patients, worsening depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. Alcohol may increase these risks. Side effects include next-day drowsiness.
Sleep. Ask your doctor about Balsamra.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Heart health's important, so you may take an omega-3 supplement, but it's the ingredients inside that really matter for heart health. Bear Pro Ultra Omega-3 has 2 times the concentration of EPA and DHA as the leading omega-3 supplement. Bear Pro Ultra Omega-3.
Away. Away is the smell of victory and the smell of burgers. Away is always having home field advantage, even when you're miles away from home. Find your away. For a dealer in the RV that's right for you, visit GoRVing.com.
America's small businesses are the backbone of our economy. I've invested millions into small businesses because I believe in people. Join me and find out why America's most important asset isn't money in the bank. It's the people on the team.
Marcus Lemonis is the Prophet. All new Tuesdays at 10 on CNBC.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 30%. tonight. Scattered thunderstorms. Low 72. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, afternoon showers. High 85. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Closed captioning brought to you by Eggland's Best Eggs.
There's only one egg that just tastes better, with more vitamins and less saturated fat.
Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Nearly 1,500 households in Connecticut woke up this morning without power. That's down from more than 4,000 outages after the distant remnants of what was once Hurricane Patricia, I should say. I got two mixed up, moved through overnight. Several inches of rain fell in many towns, causing flooding. Wind gusts hit more than 40 miles an hour, knocking down trees, and also blew down many of the leaves, essentially ending peak color season in most areas. That happens almost every year. That's how it ends. Well, 30 minutes past the hour here on Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Keith Carson. We begin with what's happening across the Northeast right now. Let's take you into New York right now. They've seen some wind gusts here and there around 21 miles an hour last hour. They didn't get hit quite as hard with the winds as, say, upstate New York did, in through the coastline of New England as well, but all part of that same system moving through with some pretty strong winds on the backside of it as well. That's where we are as the front has moved through most of the Northeast, and we're seeing the winds behind it continuing to be breezy through the day today. Let's take a look at the setup there. Deep low pressure system up in Canada. As you head now closer to winter, and I'm certainly in the middle of fall at least, you get deeper lows, stronger pressure gradient winds, and that's what's happening here behind this system. Strong northwest winds and then southwest winds at the moment across much of the Northeast. Boston coming in at 15 miles an hour, Bangor 10 miles an hour. These are not gusts, by the way. These are sustained wind speeds, so the gusts have been much higher. As I mentioned, look at New York sitting at 3 miles an hour. However, the gusts over 20 miles an hour. So that's kind of the nature of this wind that we've seen, those gusty winds. Buffalo, 31 miles an hour, sustained wind there, and they actually have a wind advisory and wind warning still in effect for the Buffalo area because those winds will be screaming off the lakes through the afternoon and into the evening as well. All right, let's take a look at what we have going on as far as the forecast for some of these winds, and we'll continue to see strong winds through the afternoon. As that low is up here, it's going to continue to kind of crank around. So even though the front now is offshore, it's not going to mean the winds really settle that much. So late afternoon, early evening, still with these wind gusts in the 40-mile-per-hour range. And then you'll see them kind of simmer down late tonight. For example, across the Northeast, New England coastline particularly, your strongest winds would have been last night, early this morning. So after this, it'll just be kind of a nuisance, consistent wind coming in eventually out of the northwest, which is more of a hallmark of a frontal passage than the southwest is. But there's a secondary front behind it. That's where the air mass is located. I mentioned Buffalo before. They have a high wind warning here still in effect. Wind advisory shaded around it into Watertown as well. And that's because of that fetch right off the lakes. No friction to kind of slow it. Not much friction. There's some. Not as much friction to slow things down. Not as much topography. So the winds kind of come screaming off the lakes, and that's why they end up with the stronger winds. So a place like Boston, windy through the evening. By the way, the Patriots play tonight against Miami. All right, parts of Minnesota are already getting their first real taste of winter. This is in Twin Cities. They saw a mix of rain and snow yesterday. Officially just a trace, but areas farther north up to 2 inches of snow. And check out the snow in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, between Minneapolis and Lake Superior. First taste of winter there. You know, I always wondered, I think this is a car lot. That must be such a pain when you have to clean off all the cars after it snows. This is a rain over the snow, but I'd imagine when you get a bunch of snow, that's like the worst job you could have, moving all the cars and then getting them back into place. All right, let's show you what's going on right now in Chicago. 40s today, gorgeous though. By Sunday and Monday, they're going to warm back up. Kind of a dreary day today, and breezy behind that front as I just showed you, and that low spinning around. So we're going to have a little quick cold shot here, but it's already basically happening, and it's going to be really short-lived. Considering the time of the year it is, sometimes these cold shots can start to linger now more late October, early November. That won't be the case here. The tight pressure gradient drives these winds down from Canada, and so that's what we call cold air advection, if you want to get fancy. and we do, but eventually that kind of settles down. We go back towards average. So the winds going with it, gusts up to 30 miles an hour, also adding to a little bit of a wind chill, although a lot of people in the Midwest and Northern Plains won't consider it a wind chill until it starts feeling really, really cold out there. But it's making it feel like freezing across the Northern Plains even at this hour. So the cold shot today, temperatures about 5-6 degrees below average. By tomorrow, back on par. Green Bay, Chicago, Minneapolis, even International Falls. By the way, their average this time of year getting pretty chilly in the 40s in International Falls. So being above average doesn't do you a whole lot of good as you head to late October here. But hey, it's something. And here's a look at what we got going right now for wind chills. Again, it feels like freezing. Billings, Fargo, Rapid City sitting at 32. Minneapolis feels like 40. So just adding a little extra bite to that air mass, even though it's not really, you know, a diehard when you consider this a wind chill kind of day. But technically it does make it feel a little bit colder. As we go forward here through the day, keeps it feeling like upper 30s, low 40s, all the way from Omaha up to Bismarck into Marquette. Chicago will be in the upper 40s and it will feel like the upper 40s. It will just be noticeably breezy. When you get warm enough, that wind chill no longer really a factor. It's just an annoyance. It feels a little bit cooler if you head outside. That's what we'll see in Chicago. Down in St. Louis, temperatures there in the 50s. So again, not much of a wind chill there, but it's more up towards International Falls in Minneapolis that we'll see it. All right, well, believe it or not, it's been 3 years since Hurricane Sandy hit the Northeast. Devastation spanned across the mid-Atlantic coast, with New Jersey hardest hit. Some towns there nearly destroyed, but one artist is still helping people rebuild and heal through her work. Reagan Medji joins us with more.
The artist is from one of the hardest hit areas here at the Jersey Shore, Asbury Park. For the past 3 years, the artist has been collecting items throughout her community and rebuilding, transforming debris into art.
Here's the hinge to a door frame.
And do you know where that's from?
From Belmar.
New Jersey artist Laura Petrovich Cheney uses salvaged wood to create her quilt-like sculptures. Each is created out of a piece of a person's home or keepsake left behind from the devastating impacts of Superstorm Sandy. It's estimated about 346,000 homes were damaged or destroyed in New Jersey.
The devastation was unbelievable. Piles and piles of wooden debris everywhere. And I just started collecting it and collecting it and collecting it. And I wanted to tell the story of what had happened and take pieces of everybody's life and piece them back together.
Her artwork was on display at Kean University in New Jersey. Almost all of it sold. The gallery director isn't surprised.
I'm very inspired by it, in part because it's very real. It's to our experience.
Inside that art gallery, Petrovich Cheney told us where each section of wood was found and its story. Then she led us to this 3-inch section of wood. And that's all that you were able to get from your parents' house?
Just a little piece from it, yeah, sadly, that was it. And so this holds a lot of meaning. My parents' shore house that I'd grown up in was destroyed. It took my dad about 6 months to repair it. And a week before the house was to be approved for him to move back in for their summer, he died. And that was a huge loss because it was completely unexpected.
Petrovich Cheney still has a bedroom-sized storage unit filled from top to bottom with wood, or, as she says, people's memories.
I feel like what I'm doing with resurrecting this wood, with giving it a second life, that I'm offering hope, second chances, and we all love second chances. We all need second chances.
If you like Laura's work and want to find out more information, just head to her website, lauracheney.com. There, you'll also find locations of future exhibits. Back to you.
All right, as we go to break, incredible images of flooding in Tybee Island, Georgia. This video was taken from a drone. This is a main road on the island, Interstate 80. High onshore winds and tides coming together to blame for the flooding in coastal Carolina cities. Up next on Weather Center Live, Dave Malkoff shows us how a company is using drones to explore some previously unexplored areas around the world. We're back after your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 72. Chance of rain 30%. Friday, afternoon showers. High 84. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Before you put any engine to bed this winter, don't drain the fuel tank. Top it off with Stayville storage. It keeps fuel fresh, so come spring, your power equipment is ready to go, and your hog won't be a bore.
I take Prilosec OTC each morning for my frequent heartburn, because you can't beat zero heartburn. Ah, the sweet taste of it.
Prilosec OTC, 1 pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
Coughing, sniffling, and wishing you could stay in bed all day. When your cold is this bad, you need new Theraflu Express Max. Theraflu Express Max combines maximum strength medicines available without a prescription to fight your worst cold and flu symptoms, so you can feel better fast and get back to the job at hand. New Theraflu Express Max, the power to feel better.
Did you know only 1% of supplements have earned the USP mark, an independent certification for quality and purity? I recommend Nature Made because they've earned the most of any brand.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended letter vitamin brand.
This is Veronica. Rhonda.
Robert.
She takes care of me. She takes care of me, the kids, the calendar, the dog, the house.
Actually, he takes care of the house.
You could say everything good in my life is possible because of Veronica.
Because of Robert.
She's irreplaceable. She's irreplaceable.
No one like him.
Life insurance? Do we need that?
There are over 32 million irreplaceable wives and husbands in this country without life insurance. Loved ones who could have coverage for less than 35 cents a day.
Call me at United of Omaha, and I'll make it easy to insure your loved ones. A $100,000 policy is available for as little as $844 a month. And if you lose your job, we'll cover your premiums for up to 6 months.
At United of Omaha, we pay the majority of claims within a week.
I'm calling now.
Mutual of Omaha. Insure your possibilities. Call us or your local agent today.
Attention women. If you have a transvaginal mesh implant and had surgery to repair or remove the mesh, you may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you have a transvaginal mesh implant, call the Goldwater Law Firm. Over $2 billion have been set aside to pay claims. This may be your last chance to get a settlement. Call now before it's too late.
To see if you qualify for an out-of-court settlement, call 1-800-371-5151. That's 1-800-371-5151.
Imagine yourself exploring the mysteries of Machu Picchu, dining at the Eiffel Tower, or staying at the Fairmont Lake Louise in the Canadian Rockies. Across all 7 continents, Colette's guided tours take you places others only dream about.
I love Colette because they arrange everything for me. All I have to do is sit back and enjoy.
Marvel at iconic landmarks. Savor delicious meals. Come to know new cultures and make new friends. Along the way, enjoy immersive itineraries featuring experiences you can only find with Colette. Whether you're in the America West, discovering New Zealand, or walking on the Great Wall, you'll be traveling with one of our professional tour managers. All you have to do is embrace the adventure. To order your free brochure, call 855-713-8687. Experience the best in guided travel. 855-713-8687.
Welcome Welcome back to Weather Center Live. As you probably know, drones are changing the way that we see the world. New technology offering us stunning images from places we're previously limited in our perspective. Dave Malkoff takes us on a journey into the world's largest cave.
This is a place on our planet unknown to humans until 1991 and unexplored like this until now. DJI, a big company that makes those hobby drones you hear so much about, sent one of their flying cameras into the world's largest cave, and the results were outstanding.
This cave is so massive. Some of the caverns are as big as two 747s side by side.
The cave is called Sundong, and it's deep in the jungle of central Vietnam.
It's so hot in there, and it's so humid. And because of the light and the sunbeam that comes in, it creates its own little weather system. So you have clouds, you have like bands of fog.
That's partly due to this. Some ceilings tower 650 feet above the bottom of the mammoth cave. If you walk for 2 miles down a dark path of ancient limestone, you'll be astounded to see daylight streaming in. Stalagmites that look like mini mountains big enough for a brave explorer to climb. An entire world inside a mountain, more than 3 miles long, 500 feet wide.
Unbelievable footage.
That's amazing.
It is.
And it's only because of this kind of technology.
This technology has really allowed us to see our world from a different perspective.
Certainly a different way of looking at the world we all share. In Las Vegas, Dave Malkoff, the Weather Channel.
By the way, the name Sundong means Mountain River Cave, and I knew that before it was in the teleprompter. Not really, though. Let's talk about some football. We got TCU versus West Virginia. You got a little college. They're number 5, so just trying to stay on top of the ranks here. Should be fine as far as they go. We do have some NFL action, though. My team, the New England Patriots, taking on the Miami Dolphins. Since it's in Foxborough, the weather will be quite windy. Gusts 20, 25 miles an hour pretty easily here behind that front that's come through, so I think weather will be a factor. Here's some stats on Tom Brady in the wind. Turns out he's awesome like he is in all kinds of weather, so it's not a big factor. You got 144 touchdowns to 41 interceptions. His QBR is ranking there at 98, so not much of a drop-off between that, say, cold weather games. His weakest point, actually, believe it or not, is warm weather games. Anything over 80 degrees, he's a little bit less good at being a quarterback, and part of that's because they play Miami a lot of times during the season, early in the season. It's hot down there. All right, let's talk about your 7-day forecast, shall we? Today, it's all about the wind and the rain in the northeast. Otherwise, relatively quiet. Dallas, little cold front. It's actually the same front coming through here down towards Atlanta. A few sprinkles there. Meanwhile, a little bit of rain and some elevation snow across the mountains. As we head into tomorrow, we'll be watching this system here coming in. Pretty good looking, we call shortwave coming through here through tomorrow and through Dallas. Some rain. Again, they saw a lot of rain last weekend, so we could be watching some flooding for them. Flash flood guidance is reasonable, though, so we should be able to stay below that threshold on Saturday. Raining in New Orleans, up the Mississippi River Valley. Nice across much of the Northeast and the 95 corridor. Nice in places like Denver, San Fran, Los Angeles. So a lot of us having a nice Halloween night, with the exception there of some of the Gulf Coast. As we head into Sunday now, another front comes through. It's back to rain in Atlanta, 63 in New York, 58 in Boston. These rain showers, by the way, not accompanied with much in the way of wind compared to what we saw with this system. So it'll be a lot gentler of rain coming through there. And then on Monday, system kind of stalls out down across parts of the southeast, tries to develop another low. Getting messy out here across the west. The signal, by the way, for late October through early November, big ridge in the east, above average temperatures. Trough in the west should mean some rain and cooler than average temperatures. We'll be right back.
Your paycheck. Your family depends on it. But if something happened to you, you need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can get it for you for under $1 a day. SelectQuote found Alec, 38, a $500,000 policy for under $23 a month. SelectQuote found Kenesha, 39, a $350,000 policy for under $14 a month. SelectQuote's secret? They impartially shop a select group of highly rated companies like these for your best rates. Give your family the security it needs at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote could save you hundreds of dollars on life insurance. To see how much you can save, call 1-800-352-8300 or visit SelectQuote.com. Discover what over 1 million families now know. We shop, you save.
How to make an awesome weather science show. Take 3 scientists. That's us. The scientists. And they know that. Add the forces of nature.
That's hot stuff.
Mix in some crazy experiments.
Lit my hand on fire.
Why?
Because of science.
Oh, that is so cool. And then...
Go! Who said science isn't fun?
3 scientists walk into a bar. Bottoms Up Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel. And join the community now on Facebook.com/3scientists.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 72. Chance of rain 30%. Friday, afternoon showers. High 84. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
We love to shop. Yes. Burlington is always the first stop. I second that.
They have brands that you would not expect. I'm all about a good jacket.
Nice. You need those. Awesome. Shopping together is all about having fun.
So, how you doing? Enough pressure in here for you?
My sinuses are killing me.
Yeah, just wait till we hit 10,000 feet.
I'm gonna take Mucinex Sinus Max.
Too late, we're about to take off.
These dissolve fast. They're new liquid gels.
And you're coming with me.
Wait, what? You realize I have gold status? Do I still get the miles?
New Mucinex Sinus Max liquid gels dissolves fast to unleash max strength medicine. Start the relief, ditch the misery. Let's end this.
Today we're getting record snowfall.
Radars indicate there's been flooding throughout the area.
We're getting hail the size of golf balls.
Maglite. Turn your light on, America.
When unexpected bills become too much, reach out to Rise. With cash in your account as soon as tomorrow, letting you get back to what matters most. Visit risecredit.com today.
So I heard about that new offer from AT&T and DirecTV, but they still lock you into a 2-year contract. That could cost you over $2,600, all for temperamental satellite TV service. AT&T and DirecTV, call it a new offer. But it's just the same old thing.
Don't fall for AT&T and DirecTV's latest offer. Only Xfinity delivers the fastest internet and the best TV experience with X1.
Let's say your team is traveling, or your client's in another state, and you need to connect face-to-face. Now's the time for GoToMeeting. Join a session from any device. One click is all it takes. Share your screen, demo a product, give a presentation. GoToMeeting with HD Faces. It's a great way to build relationships, ensure everyone's on the same page, get buy-in, and turn business ideas into actions faster. Try GoToMeeting free for 30 days at gotomeeting.com now.
Founded by firemen.
Tonight on the Weather Channel, when nature is this dangerous, only one question matters. Oh my God! So you think you'd survive? All new tonight at 10, only on the Weather Channel.
Well, 53 minutes past the hour here at Weather Center Live. We have a question. Do you know what an incident meteorologist is? Well, they're highly trained fire weather forecasters deployed to the front lines of wildfires to provide accurate on-site weather forecasts and warnings to firefighters. Sunday on Weather Geeks, Dr. Shepard hosts one of these IMETs to talk about what happens during a wildfire and how they make a forecast and make such a big impact. That is Sunday at noon Eastern on the Weather Channel. All right, let's take a look now at your tropical update here because, you know what? It's getting a little quiet this time of the year, and we're okay with that. But after what was the strongest storm recorded by the National Hurricane Center last week, crickets now at the moment in the tropics. The only area that you'll really notice down here towards the East Pac. And that, of course, has been the strong player this year, right? The Pacific has been a lot stronger than the Atlantic. We had Joaquin, we had Erica trying to get together, but otherwise it had been an El Nino quiet year. But the El Nino fueling things on the west side here in through the Eastern Pacific. So here's that area that we're watching right now. National Hurricane Center, computer models, none of them bullish on doing anything with this as far as development goes. And that would stand to reason getting later in the season here. But there is still some really warm water out here, so we'll just have to continue to watch the Pacific side of things and see if anything else tries to get late game going. Meanwhile, in the Atlantic, it is looking very quiet. You know, as you get later in the season, you get more and more of these what we call vorticity maxes, the short waves, to push all the way through down into the Gulf of Mexico. What that essentially does as we get later into the fall is shuts down the tropics, because with these maxes of upper level spin, mid-level spin, we get a lot of wind shear. So anything that tried to develop isn't going to be able to do so. You can see wind shear all over the Gulf of Mexico, which honestly has kind of been the story of the Atlantic all this season. Whenever we had something that had a chance to develop, we had a bunch of shear, and that only gets worse now as we head into November. All right, well, blimp watch. The mood is tense. We want to update you on that blimp that broke loose in Maryland yesterday afternoon. U.S. military scrambled fighter jets after drifting dangerously into civilian airspace, trailing behind a mile-long steel tether, which left a trail of damage, knocking out power to thousands. NBC's Tom Costello followed the drama.
In the sky over Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, a top-secret runaway military balloon known as an aerostat. After a hot pursuit involving fighter jets, state police, and citizens who called in updates, Zachary Boyd watched it drift by his classroom at school.
I look out the window, and this big white thing just starts going over the softball field.
On the ground behind the balloon, a trail of destruction caused by a mile-long tether that took out utility lines, leaving at least 25,000 people in the dark.
Here we are, no power, after the blimp has knocked out all the power in Bloomsburg.
The balloon is called a J-lens. Filled with helium, it's loaded with highly sophisticated and secret tracking equipment. It managed to float 115 miles from Aberdeen, Maryland to central Pennsylvania. Part of a pilot program, the military had two of them moored in Aberdeen, Maryland, hovering at 10,000 feet, scanning the skies.
So this is part of a new military radar system that's supposed to detect cruise missiles, fast-flying, low-flying cruise missiles, probably from Russian aircraft.
One of the two balloons broke free, floating up to 16,000 feet and posing a risk to passenger planes in the skies. NORAD scrambled F-16s as air traffic control diverted nearby aircraft. Finally, after 3 hours, the aerostat lost altitude and skipped along the Pennsylvania countryside, coming to rest in Anthony Township, PA. At $2.5 billion, the project has been controversial. Privacy advocates concerned about its ability to collect data, and members of Congress concerned about the cost. Now, with the J-lens lying in a Pennsylvania field, the balloon's future may be further in doubt.
All right, no injuries reported, by the way, and at the time the balloon broke free, winds gusting more than 20 miles an hour. Might have had something to do with it. Let's talk about Halloween, shall we? Top 5 scariest cities, and we don't mean like the people aren't looking or anything like that. It's just the worst weather. Seattle, some showers coming through 8 o'clock there. Portland, Oregon, showers as well, same system. Pacific Northwest, gonna be messy. Memphis, Tennessee, this music. Love this music. 61 miles an hour, chance of thunderstorms. St. Louis, same system there. Some showers, 57 degrees. And New Orleans is going to see a rain out. We have a system moving right through there, 75 degrees. Thunderstorms rolling on through. How about weather extremes on Halloween? Atlanta, warmest 85, I believe that. Coldest 29. And they actually got a trace of snow, believe it or not, in 1993. It's amazing they got snow this early in Atlanta. Boston, warmest 81, coldest 27, snowiest only a trace, wettest though 2.5 inches of rain back in 1939. We'll be right back after the break. Is that like circus?
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 72. Chance of rain 30%. Friday, afternoon showers. High 84. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.